Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your daily tarot reading for Sunday, September 29th, 2019. Just going to shuffle the deck up here and let's see where we start our Sunday off. What energy is going to be there for today. I do hope everything's going well for you, everybody, and I hope that you're enjoying this weekend. I've got a couple more days off after this, so I'm pretty stoked about it because today actually would have been my first day back at work. So it's much more enjoyable doing this than going in and doing the old grind. Not that that's not fun. I do love my job, but I also love my time home with my fur kids and my feather babies. So let's see. I think we're just about set with this. And let's see what we do. Going to put the cards down like I normally do. And let's see what happens, shall we? And finally, here we go. All right. Where do I feel like going today? I'm kind of feeling the first pile right now, to be honest with you. So let's see what we get for a card. So we have the Nine of Swords. Let's talk a bit about this Nine of Swords, shall we? First off, it's a minor arcana, of course, we know that, which means it's going to our day-to-day tasks and our day-to-day lives, more so than just a life-changing experience. When we look at the Nine of Swords, this in particular is kind of a cool thing. You get this giant goose with teeth, if that makes any sense, and this person sort of staring it down or actually being surprised by it. So long story short, when we look at the Nine of Swords, let's think of some key words, shall we, that you might want to carry through your day. Number one is obviously fear and anxiety, terror, any negativity really, unhappiness, any stress, burdens, overwhelmed, at your breaking point, inability to cope. I know it sounds so horrible, doesn't it? But along with that, it's basically being a subject of gossip, as well as making mountains out of molehills, that sort of thing. Long story short, this is probably the most perfect card for a Sunday, and I don't really mean to giggle, but when you think about it, don't we all feel all those emotions when we're actually looking at Monday morning and going back to the grind, going back to work? So let's talk a bit about some of the meaning and some of the things that we can do with this energy to take some of that out of it. Okay, first off, when we look at the context of any nine in tarot, that means things are approaching its end. It's coming to its ending point versus the ace, which is always the beginning. This is now coming to its natural end. So when we see that Suit of Swords, it's all about communication. It's all about thought. It's all about things that we create for our fears. So it's not necessarily about negative events. A lot of times it can be just our perception of the negative events. Remember we saw that making mountains out of molehills? There we are. It can be just about that. We're actually picking up a lot more burdens, feeling a lot more stress, feeling and thinking a lot more negativity. But the reality of it is, it's all stuff that we're actually putting upon ourselves. When we look at this card in the Rider-Waite deck, it's actually called the Nightmare card because you have that person laying down and you have nine swords coming at them. So this, in my opinion, is definitely a nightmare, right? Number one, goose don't have teeth. Certainly they can be mean, but they're not going to bite someone's face off like this goose is about to do. So when we look at a lot of this, one portion of it being a nine is that nightmares are coming to an end. If you are experiencing bad dreams, you are experiencing bad times, start to work on your perception of it. Start to work on how you are reacting to it versus responding to the situation. I know I've said it a million times in these videos, but reaction versus response are two very, very, very different dynamics. We want to respond to things, not have a visceral reaction to it. That being said, this card and this energy is the most part to remind you of that. If you took nothing out of this reading today, What you should take out of it is that you want to respond to situations that are coming up versus react to them. Take some time out, look at them, put some filters on before you actually get in there, get into the fray of things, and say things that you can't take back. When we look at love and relationships with this card, it's a little bit of strife at the moment. Not everybody's happy. Could be a little bit of argument, could be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, maybe some secrets kept. Long story short, just day-to-day stresses that we need to work on to get over, either by yourself or with your partner, but it's things that just need to be worked through. And again and again, it's all about responding versus reacting. And finally, when we look at money and career, this card tells us like we're really stressed out at work. We've got a lot going on. You feel like you're at your breaking point. Reality of it is humans don't have a breaking point. That's probably one of the worst sayings out there. I never like that saying when we're talking to or about human beings. Metal has its breaking point. Glass obviously has a breaking point. We don't need to have a breaking point. We can get through things. We just have to come up with different concepts, different perceptions, and different realities. So I do hope you enjoyed this reading for today. I look forward to reading you all again tomorrow. And until then, be safe, be well, and be blessed.